Welcome back to another video. It's hot. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm in Baltimore for this conference, Baltimore, Maryland. Today is Tuesday. I'm recording this. I have been here since Friday, and I bet I've taken 12 baths, showers. I mean, I'm taking like 3 showers a day right now. You take a shower before you go to the conference. You get to the conference and you want to turn around, go back and take a shower again. It is miserable. Humidity's not as bad as it is in South Louisiana, but it's still, in Louisiana, it's 90 with 90% humidity. Here it's 100, but with 40% humidity. Either way, it's miserable. So I'm on a temporary setup right now. I just want to do a quick video because I feel like I haven't talked to y'all in a while. For those who don't know where I'm at, what I'm doing right now. But so I wanted to do something. So I'm on a spare laptop. So I don't have none of my wallets and stuff like that on it. So I'm not going to be able to do a deep dive into a lot of projects. So this is going to be a short video, which some of y'all will probably doubt. But so I know the microphone setup ain't the best. I know the camera setup ain't the best or anything like that. No, I didn't make my bed. So my mom's going to be mad at me before, I invited all of y'all in. Just from opening the window to get more light for this camera, I feel like the temperature in this room raised up 5 degrees. It is bright outside with no, you can't really see, but no cloud cover at all. It's miserable. So yeah, right now our conference is going pretty good. It's a communications conference. It has people worldwide that's actually from here. It's a very large conference, filled up the entire exhibit area of the Baltimore Convention Center. It is huge. I'm out of breath walking from one side to the other. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Jokes aside, y'all know that I'm still recovering from surgery. Probably shouldn't have came to this conference, but I already had it booked, ready to go. And it's a pretty good training conference, especially when maybe not the classes as much, but talking to a lot of the vendors, a lot of RF vendors and stuff that's here. I took some videos. I'm going to do a little separate video just to kind of show y'all what it's like and what they got going on and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But let's get started and talk just about a couple of different projects, see what the profits look like and everything. I'm going to have to maybe guesstimate some because, like I said, I can't get into every project here because I don't have that stuff on my phone and I don't have it on this computer right here. And, I don't know if my home computer is on for me to remote into. So we'll see what we can do. Let's just get started. All right, so as we get started, the first thing I'm going to point out is where's alt season? Last week we had this video. That's what everybody's talking about. And what are you seeing? Not so fast, my friend. When I was sitting here, I'll be honest with you, I have not been, I've been out of town now for 5 days, 6 days now, because I came here on Friday. Today's Tuesday. I haven't really been keeping up with stuff. I know Bitcoin's not reaching any new high. It's not really crashing down low, but you listen to some people think it's the end of the world and everything with everything going on. You sit here and you look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's almost kind of sideways since the 26, 27. Yeah, it went back up to 119 and a half, almost 120,000. It's at 117 now. This is the 1 hour chart. But all these people, and I told y'all, you're going to start seeing all these people coming out because of that one kind of jump up. People thought, oh my God, alt season's here, get ready. And you're not really seeing that. You're seeing Ethereum, 3,700. It was at almost 4,000 before. That was supposed to be staying up, and then eventually that was supposed to go into your bigger altcoins. And what you found is that some altcoins have done way worse than others. You have AVAX here that was up to $27, almost $28, and now it's down to 24. This is taking a pretty pretty hard downturn. Some tokens, like Crow, y'all know I own a very healthy bag of Crow, a lot of Crow, over 30,000 Crow. You know that, I've been pushing for it. I'm hoping it gets back to $1 just to hit all-time highs again. It'll make things a lot easier for me in life. But you look at right now, it's actually staying up. It's at 14 cents. I'm using that card while I'm on this conference right now. This is the times I wish it was still at 9 or 10 cents because all my dinners and all my food and stuff I'm paying for with my Crow card. I'm not getting as much bonus as I was getting before. Solana kind of looks like AVAX a little bit. It was up to almost $200. We were all getting excited, thinking it was going to go up again. It was up to 205 before, came down to 177, and it kind of bounced off that same support line right here. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to come back down to 177,000 or what, but like AVAX, it's taking kind of a healthy downturn. You're going to call it healthy. Here's XRP. You know, you got people talking about XRP is supposed to be $3, $4, $5, $10, $100, $1,000. Well, right now it's barely staying above $3. I just want y'all to be very careful with this. Don't listen to all the hype. Don't listen to the people who are saying ignore market cap. Do I think it's going to go up? Sure. You know, I even have this alarm right here at $3 that if it goes below $3, I might put a little more in my bag. But I'm not going crazy with it. Just, you know, kind of just hedging my bet that just in case this does go up with any kind of changes that it does. But I don't think it's going to hit these crazy numbers people can say. Is it going to go up? Sure. If you bought this at 50 and 60 cents or even 25 cents, I told you all to take profits when it was at 360 or 370, 375, that I would have sipped profits. You sip the profits, and you can easily buy this back when it goes under $3 in a couple of weeks, because you know it is. And here's peak. You know, it's still going down. It hasn't been this low in a while, but you know, whether or not I keep buying a little bit at the bottom each time just to kind of make my average cost, and that's going to get old quick. I have a very big bag of peak right now. I don't know if I'm going to keep loading this up unless we can get some kind of project soon. You know, unless peak can get, I don't know why I'm starting to look like Max Headroom and shit with jumping around if you don't know what that is. But all I can say is that I need to try to still get my average. I was buying peak at 40, 50 cents a piece, 60 cents. I need to get that price down a little bit. Buying it at 6 cents really helps a lot, but we need a big project that can really help peak out. I'm having a lot of faith in Combinder, but they have a lot of work to do. Every time we ask them a question about tokenomics, you know, I think they need to really, I just don't know how early they're, I don't know what kind of team they got. I'm hoping they just needed to really build a bigger team. We're going to talk a little bit more about Combinder in a minute, but Silencio ain't doing it. That's for sure. All right, starting off with our first project. Our first project is going to be, if I can get it, Chirp KAGE. Chirp KAGE hasn't really seen that much of a price difference or anything like that. When you look at what we're making with Chirp, with the Blackbird miner, you're making still about 152 tokens every 2 days, which equals out to be about $6 a day, a little more than $6 a day. As far as the Chirp KAGE app, I told you I'm running the hell out of it here in Baltimore, and I'm getting a lot of connections. But even then, I've been here for 5 days. Anything with rewards for first-time cellular, I'm not getting, which goes back to reinforce my same beating the dead horse that there's no way these people are doing what they say they're doing, the top 2 or 3 people on Chirp KAGE. There's nowhere you're getting 3 million tokens, 3 million rewards, or 3 million data points, whatever you want to call it, every single day. No way. Not if you're still, even if I don't care how densely of an area, you're still scanning the same stuff over and over again. There's no way. And I'm proving it now just because of what I'm getting around Baltimore, going out to different places and stuff like that. So for an update for Chirp, though, that I have to say that I'm looking forward to is this Kronos, Wings of Kronos thing. I'm planning on doing a full video on this when I can wrap my head around it when I'm back at home. But, you know, I'm not discussing Chirp KAGE no more. Until you do something with the cheaters, I'm not going in there, Discord, arguing. Y'all can keep doing it. But you know what? We've all beaten the dead horse. We know that they're not going to do anything about it, because then they can go brag like they do in some of these announcements about how many hundreds of thousands or millions networks that they've scanned and all that. And they won't be able to do that if they do anything with those cheaters. So Wings of Kronos is almost here. 3 kinds of beacons. Each one has its own. The bronze beacon, scan it in AR to unlock a direct drop of no farming massive grids. When you're in a crowded city or quiet rural zone, finding one can push you up the leaderboard. So I don't know what these things are going to be. Apparently, they could be somewhere in your city. I'm sure the cheaters will find a way to figure it out, but I don't know. I don't know what the rewards are going to be like. And golden and platinum beacons are next. Some carry chirp, some rare collectibles. But we're going to have to see how this works out. All right, moving on to next. Entropy, as Grumpy looks to call it, or entropy. And, we've seen a slight decrease in rewards because of the amount of Ashlers that are being added right now. Again, I've been on this trip, so I'm not 100% up to date on everything going on. I know that there were so many Ashlers that were being onboarded in the EU. I'm sure you have seen those announcements. At first, it was, "Hey, don't plug it in," and then, "Hey, plug it in." Or if you plugged it in, don't unplug it. Unplug it, no, but don't unplug it. Kind of like that joke that we see with, the woman plugging the outlet in and don't unplug it. But hey, if you unplugged it, don't plug it back in. Oh wait, and that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, funny stuff. But we have seen a small drop in the entropy tokens just because people selling, and I don't know what's going to happen to them. Some people are selling that bought. And I have to remind you all of that. Some of these bots that are buying and selling. I've noticed there's one that buys and sells 40 times a day, and that's strictly a bot because a lot of people, y'all have asked about it. I've asked the team, and it's strictly a market bot. So, don't, go hyperventilate over that. But, people need to quit selling if we want to see this token go up some. For those who ordered out the second and third batch, I know Helium Deploy has updated the shipping. I bought in the second drop on Helium Deploy, and those are now being marked as shipped, or they received them and getting marked for shipping. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. Your Helium your Helium Deploy order status, and you can go check that out. So news to me, because I have not been keeping up. Fun fact, this is a very funny fact. I did a full video letting everybody know that July 28th was going to be the day you needed NFTs. They then postponed that because of the problems with people in the EU onboarding. So I never released that video. Looks like they have now made an announcement as of yesterday that starting July 23rd, you will have to have an Entropy NFT in your wallet. I did a video that if you have a lot of Entropy NFTs in one wallet and you need to spread it around to some other wallets that have, Ashlers and stuff, how to transfer and how to do all that stuff like that. So go check that video out. If I can remember, I will post it at the end of this video. But make sure you now have your, it says they have 10,008 Entropy acolytes. You may verify an acolyte by checking the collection ID, blah, blah, blah. But the set multipliers will not go live on this date. We aim to roll out all multipliers next week. So for those of y'all like me who in a particular wallet might have a snake, an ape, and a whale to get that 2x bonus, that does not take effect right away. They do have a rooftop soiree at the Arlo, Williamsburg, North New York City on the July 30th, which is going to be Wednesday night. If I had the money, I'd leave Baltimore and go visit them. But, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, they're having another party. I wish I would have known about this. I probably would have snuck away from Baltimore. But to be honest with you, I just paused the video and checked out what the train would cost to go from Baltimore to New York. They have a high-speed light train here that does 125 miles an hour. I took screenshots of it yesterday. It was pretty cool. I went to Washington, D.C. But I wouldn't mind going visit this. But airfare is $300 or $400. So maybe one day I will attend a Entropy event, but it won't be this one, that's for sure. But again, make sure you have your NFTs ready to go. Make sure you have in whatever wallets. If you have Ashlers you've added, because I know if you have an Ashler, you couldn't have bought pre-minted a NFT. So like me, I pre-minted like 5 or 6 NFTs per wallet on my ESP32. And then I just transferred those NFTs to each one of my 3 Ashler wallets. Make sure you get that done. I do have a video on that. So big things happening with this project, bigger than a lot of people assumed would ever happen. A lot of, networking these guys are doing, spreading the good word of nothing, and we'll see what happens with it. All right, so we're moving on. Going to GEODNET next. GEODNET price has been another one that stayed kind of the same, which is a good thing compared to a lot of things going down since our last video. So we're looking at still about 16 cents, almost 17 cents for the token, making about $2 a day. Ever since the halving, we're making about $2 a day. We're not going to beat that dead horse we've talked about it. ROVR, y'all know my ROVR device is dead. Doesn't really matter because I haven't really been driving that much with me being home after my surgery and now on this trip right here. But still, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my ROVR, try to get it fixed. The USB plug on it is wonky. And now, even though it has a blue light, it will not connect. But no real news from ROVR. That price has stayed very solid at right at 1 cent for the last several weeks. So it hasn't seemed to have been affected by some of these price drops. Junk. Y'all know I'm back into the junk token. I'll be honest with you, I cannot get into my junk from this computer because I don't have any of my Phantom wallets on it. The price has taken again, I hate to use the word healthy, but it's taken a little bit of a dive. This right here is the junk token chart, the hour-long chart. And you can see that when we did our last video, it was up to about 4.8495, down to 4.5. So, I mean, this looks violent, but it really isn't when you look at what the total prices are. It's kind of, almost more sideways than anything when you zoom completely out. So you wish you could keep this momentum going on. I don't know if I haven't analyzed it, so I don't know if the people selling are people in the project, because we've learned, as I've learned, if you don't have the right amount there, you cannot claim anymore. So if you've drawn money out of that and you claim money and then you go turn around and sell, you're done. Unless you put those tokens back in or you burned X amount of tokens or whatever. So I don't know where this price drop's coming from, or if it's people just buying the token and selling the token. It says there's only been 6 transactions. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. But, I don't know. Sunday, I'm hoping that I have enough to make it worth my while to do the burn pool, bonus pool, whatever you want to call it, and we'll see what happens with it from there. I'm curious to know, with all my boost NFTs that I have now, what kind of difference that makes, and I'll report back to you and see what it does. Moving on to one of my favorite projects right now, even though I have to keep up with it, really should be almost number 1 from what I'm making, but is Earnapp. It's not really a crypto project, so you don't have to worry about it. I still can't believe there's not a lot of people following me. The only thing I'm hoping is that y'all are in this project already. But the fact that I'm making this much money in Earnapp this quickly and getting it paid this quickly, how there's not more of y'all in this, I don't know. Some of y'all think are scared to make a little bit of money. But, I claimed $200 last week for my trip. It hit my PayPal in 24 hours. The first time it took 5 days. The second time it took 1 day. The next day I thought it was a mistake, but my $200. And so you're looking at in 2 months, I have made $400 with this project. Now, again, I have 10 or 12 computers on different networks running this. I'm not expecting y'all to do it, but I'm still saying if y'all could get 1 or 2 computers running this, y'all be making over $1 a day, depending on what country you're in, which is still good when you look at what we're making with some of these other projects that we're about to discuss. So, and it doesn't cost anything to get into this project. So I've did several videos on Earnapp. I'm hoping y'all get on it. Please use my code, because my code helps me out, but also helps you out when you're getting started, all that. Check out Earnapp. Again, it's an easy project. You don't have to worry about token price going down or exchanges or anything like that. It can pay you out in the Amazon card. It can pay you out in PayPal, and there's 1 or 2 other ways you can do it too. I did the PayPal each time. NATIX will probably end up on my new section called "Who Wants to Finish First," whatever. I don't know. But June paid. NATIX price went down a little bit, but I'm making about 48 cents with NATIX. Now next month when I get paid that in a day or two, I'm curious to see what I make because, again, the first 2 weeks of the month, I was not driving at all. I wasn't cleared from surgery. So, but I also, when I started driving again halfway through the month, I did do my boost bonus or whatever it's called so that I can, nitro bonus, so that I can at least make the most that I could possibly make in the short time I had to do it. And, we'll see. We'll see what I make. We'll see. I did do a 2-hour drive back and forth with that going on to my hunting lease in Mississippi. So I did do extensive amount of driving in that short period, which would probably average out to some of y'all driving just back and forth to work. So we'll see what happens with NATIX. WeatherXM, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with WeatherXM. I know watching the Discords and listening to some of y'all, especially y'all who are in my Discord. If y'all not in my Discord, make sure you get in my Discord. But a lot of y'all are very unhappy with WeatherXM. People are starting to go the route with Helium, and kind of what I'm doing with Silencio is people are unplugging them. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. And look, I'm an a-hole. That's why I'm called Grumpy. To me, I've already paid for this device. I don't care if I've ROI'd or not. 1 or 2 people unplugging devices is not hurting this project. I'll be honest here. You might as well keep it plugged in, even if you're making partial to what you were making before. But there's a lot of pissed off people, the fact that you're no longer making those bonuses like you were doing before. So when you look at their Discord, you don't really see anything nothing other than them thanking everybody for being beta testers. So I still have one WeatherXM that works. My WeatherXM station has been broke for about 2 months. After much going back and forth with them and them wanting videos of me putting literally videos of me taking new batteries out of a package, putting them into the device. Then I had to take a picture of the batteries in there to show that they weren't put in backwards, and then take a video of doing this other stuff. I've argued with them enough, told them off, and finally getting a backup WeatherXM station. I'm going to tell y'all, I don't rarely use it. I don't like the fact that I can't see what the total rainfall is to know if I need to go run a sprinkler for my Bermuda grass or my garden in the back. I have a very big garden with my kids with a lot of stuff growing in it. I need to know how much rain we've had for the day. And WeatherXM screen does not tell you that. I don't understand that. It'll tell me some other goofy stuff I don't care about. But to me, that screen needs to be redone to what I at least want it to be. I don't know. Moving on. Grass price has taken a serious drop and is now at 81 cents. And guys, y'all going to have to forgive me because I know I'm sounding like a broken record. I can tell you that this is just getting beyond stupid at this point. The fact that we're going on Epoch 10, so this will make, we're almost at a year since the last rewards. I think it's been about 11 months now. And the fact that this project, I don't know why they're so scared to give out rewards. I don't know why that seems just to be such an impossible task, especially when they've done it before already. I don't know if it's because of exchanges or what, but their price is slowly bleeding on their token. We're at 91 cents, so it's sub $1 for the first time in a while. And on the announcements, they want to talk about all these different achievements and stuff, but none of that matters. But there's so many people in this project that they don't care. They just can sit there and keep going with it. But I just don't agree. I don't care how much I love the project. I don't agree with any project that's going to pay you once a year. I'm sorry. And Grass needs to hire somebody else that can handle this, or another team or something like that, that y'all can still onboard new devices and come out with these new devices and still worry about paying people. I'm not saying you have to pay people once a week or even once a month, but once a year is beyond stupid. All right, starting on with our new section, the battle for last place. Yes, they're doing a good job battling for last place. Coming in next is Helium. I don't know what's going on with my Helium devices. I don't know if y'all seen the same thing, but within the last 2 to 3 weeks, my Helium has taken a huge cut in rewards. I haven't really lost any stations that were going to affect all of them, because all of them, the ones I have in New Orleans, the ones I have in Baton Rouge, the ones I have around my hometown and where I work at, they are all took a serious hit on the amount of H&T they're getting per day. I don't know if y'all are seeing that, but I know I'm seeing that. price of helium was going back, almost touching $4 again. Might have even touched $4. I didn't get that deep into it, but again, they can't get out their own way either, and they're down to back to $3.24. So that's helium. Next is going to be ERWIN. Again, if you belong to my Discord, Who Fought It normally keeps a pretty good, keep us up to date on when it's time to go recharge our devices on Who Fought It. I'm sorry, on ERWIN. But there's not really much going on with that. That price is also slowly falling, but you're making about 22 cents with that one. Moving on to SOARCHAIN. SOARCHAIN sucks. Price goes down a little bit more. I haven't been running it because I haven't been in my vehicle that much, but staking is still making a pretty decent return as far as the amount of tokens, but the price of tokens are down. So, but you're still making 60 to 70 tokens a day. At least I am, just staking those SOARCHAIN tokens. But nothing really new going on with them. And I'm going to tell you another thing real quick. Reading their Discord with SOARCHAIN, I don't know what the hell's going on with them. They got this team of Aster thing or something like that. People are asking in Discord if they're getting away from the vehicle devices, the vehicle reading devices, and they're saying they're going to a more all vehicle data sales type thing. To me, that sounds like DIMO Part 2, Sucky Revenge or something like that. They need to go learn from DIMO that, unless they're going to personally sell the stuff for us, they're going to have issues also. I'm waiting to hear what they're going to do next, but I don't know. Silencio, my favorite project, being sarcastic. Y'all know how I am right now about Silencio. As I'm taking videos along this trip and the DEPIN stuff I'm running along this trip, I'm keeping y'all up to date with Silencio. It is absolutely, and I told you this in the previous video, it's absolutely killing me that I cannot run Silencio. There are several venues around here that are first-time venues that I'm not hitting. I've opened it up just to kind of take a look at it, and take a look at what's going on, to see what's available. But I'm just a grumpy person right now with Silencio, and I just want to see, by not running Silencio all month, I want to see what kind of rewards I get at the end. Because right now, I'm eligible for like 720,000 raffle tickets, and I probably ran Silencio 3 times. Now, just to open Silencio, I have to choose what I want to do about my streak. And what I do is I just pay the 400 or 500 tokens or 500 points or whatever it is. I don't care. I have 750 or 740,000 raffle tickets. So I'm curious to see. Last month, I was very pissed off and very disappointed in the amount of tokens I got out of Silencio. I had 800,000+ raffle tickets, and I did worse with the amount of Silencio got versus the previous month when I only had 700,000 raffle tickets. And I busted my butt on family vacation in New York with all kinds of first-time venues, and they get less. That pissed me off, and it goes to prove to you that this raffle ticket catastrophe has to stop. And I'm not going to run Silencio as long as they do the raffle ticket thing, as long as they do, this ads with stupid King Henry getting stuck on the toilet with spikes coming after him, or they want to do subscription. It's just all stupidity, and Silencio needs to do something. And for right now, I'm on strike against Silencio. And, will they survive? Absolutely. They don't give a care what Grumpy says. But that's still, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. None of this is financial advice. Y'all know that. This is just what I'm doing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Y'all continue to do Silencio if y'all doing it. But it's horrible. So DIMO still remains a joke. DIMO, we kept being told that all these online accounts, 100,000 online accounts that were only online accounts, were going offline sometime around the 21st. So starting on the 28th or whatever it was, you were supposed to see this huge increase or substantial noticeable increase in rewards. I have not gotten that. I'm looking at one of my devices right now. I got 24 rewards on that 24 DIMO on Monday. Last Monday, I got 24 rewards. And the Monday before that, I got 22. So it seems like I've not been getting that much more. Some other ones went from 30 to 24 to from 20. So that one's had a little bit of increase, but you know, with the price tag of what's going on right now with some of these tokens, or with DIMO's token price, you know, even at like 30, you know, you're looking at $1.80 divided by 7. You're looking at 25 cents on the high side, 25 cents a day. So, you know, that's $4 a month, and they want you to pay $6 or $8 for subscription. That's on y'all. Again, people keep asking me. When it's time for me to get a subscription, I'm not getting a subscription. Luckily, I still have several months left of my plan for my 5 miners, macarons, but I am not getting a subscription for this. The day that I need to pay for subscription for DIMO, my DIMO days are done. I am stuck with staking right now, but I'm not as crazy as some of y'all fools were. Y'all crazy fools who are doing 2 and 3 and 4 year staking. Come on, guys. You know, I have a couple of months left, and I'm not restaking tokens. Silencio, I'm restaking right now just because of how many I'm getting. With Silencio, you need to go back and restake your tokens from your first and second, third drop if you did 3 months. I'm only doing 3 months at a time for Silencio. It's giving me enough because I'm hoping at the end of this year we are in a full alt season and I can sell those tokens. But Wingbits are still Wingbits. Still waiting about another month before TGE. Again, I say the same thing. I'm sorry. I know we're moving. You know, they're working on some things. 375 AI, nothing really going on with them yet. So 375 AI does have there's a win-win-win title. So maybe that might have something to do, you know, when TGE, when mainnet, whatever like that. So if y'all are available, y'all might want to try to check this out. This is tomorrow, June 30th. I don't know exactly what time that is. It's like 1 p.m. Eastern time. If I'm available, I might try to listen in. I doubt it. I'm probably going to be in one of my classes, unless this is right after lunch or something. But maybe if y'all want to listen in to 375 AI, I still run this every day, running all my hexes. It's cool because, like, when I went to Washington, D.C. over the weekend, 2 days ago, and I took that high-speed train, I got all those 375 AI hexes on the train tracks, which is different from the interstate I took last month. So that's a cool deal. So we'll see what's going on with them. And I'll put a video out if there's any important announcements or anything like that. So moving on to Combinder. Combinder still doesn't have a Discord yet. I told everybody they could use my Discord if they want as the Combinder channel. They are very, very active in Telegram, but these guys I think are going to need some help, to be honest with you. I'm still into the project. I'm up to 4 plugs now, and when I go and I have a new device I have to go put in New Orleans at my niece's house, what do you call it, a miner or whatever like that. It's just going to be a Raspberry Pi running Wingbits and Earnapp on it. I need a smart plug for that, so I'm going to be buying my 5th Combinder plug. I'm still going to do the smart plugs because I need smart plugs, and you might as well put on Combinder. But these guys are very, very early. They have a lot of work to get done. Right now, it seems like they're kind of set in their ways of how they want to do things. They're not really taking, some people are trying to suggest things to them. But like the fact that you can't even change your password on their website. One of my plugs was on a washing machine. I put it onto my miners. And you can't, even though on the Shelly app on your phone, you can change the names of the device and stuff. On the Combinder website, you can't even change the names of these plugs. They have a lot of work to do. Look, I'm not losing faith in them. I'm just trying to tell everybody to give them examples of how early Combinder is. Do not expect them going to mainnet next week, next month. We got in this project super duper early. And this is what the growing pains we all have to deal with. And I told you that when I did this video on Combinder. We are very early in Combinder. I still have faith in them. A lot of projects, Wingbits started out with just the 2 or 3 people, and they're growing to a bigger business now. A lot of other projects have did the same thing. We are just into a project that is super duper early. We know they're doing fundraising and they got some money and stuff. So you have people who are supporting them, who are giving them money. So they're investing in it. So we'll see. Honeygain, I'll be dead honest with y'all with Honeygain. I don't know what's going on with them. I have not had a chance to get into my computer to look at it, to see how mainnet's going. I need to move them up. I just don't know where I moved them to. Depending on who you talk to, some people say mainnet's going well. Some people saying the price still isn't worth it. I don't know. I have to go and analyze that for myself before I go any further. So I'm gonna finish it on my phone here, see how this works out. But because this computer thing jumping around is just messing me up. Listen, I've tried warning people, and I get the hate, and I've tried to warn people when all these people last week were alt season's here, and I kept telling y'all, not so fast, my friends. I kept telling y'all, pump the brakes a little bit. Yes, it's great to see Ethereum go up, but let's see if this lasts longer than a week, and it didn't. Now, Ethereum's still up there, but some of your alts have already taken a little bit of a tumble. So, I have people asking me, what's my game plan? And I'll be dead honest with you, I don't know right now. 3 weeks ago, I looked like an ass because I'm telling people that I'm pissed off with altcoins, and I'm just going to buy some Bitcoin and a little bit of peak to get my average cost down. And then it seemed like that maybe there was a little bit to this alt season thing. So I felt like I look like an ass for telling people just buy Bitcoin. Now, I got all these other YouTubers saying this isn't the time to buy Bitcoin. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I get paid Friday. Am I going to DCA into something? Yes, I'm definitely DCA into something. What am I DCAing into? I have no idea. No idea. Part of me feels that, okay, maybe there is something to this alt season, and I need to continue to stack up on my alts. I have a huge bag of Atom and Cardano and VET. Not so much AVAX, but also Solana. I got Solana at $8, $10, $12, $13. To the more I buy at $175, am I really helping myself? I don't know. Do I need to just keep accumulating Bitcoin and some more peak? Maybe a little XRP if it gets below $2, just in case it does go to $4 or $5 one day. I don't know. I really don't know. It's going to be me looking at the charts. I can tell you right now, if VET falls back down to that 2-cent range, I'm buying more VET because I still think VET is a 10x if it goes back to all-time high. I don't know about the rest. Peak, until it can get a strong project, I don't know. As far as our projects go, wrapping all that up, Entropy, we have our Ashland miners that are being shipped from Helium deploy. So those should be coming very soon. And that's going to be more that's going to be onboarded, which also still makes the network and the project stronger because there's more people involved. Yes, rewards are going to go down. If we can get people to quit being greedy, you got into a project that doesn't want you to sell, yet you're selling. And then you complaining that the price is going down. Well, go look in the mirror, goofy. We're going to be able to sell at some point in the future. What I'm doing with all my NFTs, I don't know yet. I lose sleep over the fact that I didn't buy enough NFTs. I wish I would have bought more. I wish I would have listened. As far as some of our other projects, I don't know what's going on with them. Combinder, I still have faith in that project, but it's new and very new. And I know some of y'all are not going to have the patience for it because I know y'all. I know y'all followed me in my channel for a while, and I don't know, I do know kind of how y'all are. With Wings of Chronos, I'm curious to see what that's going to be about. Chirp KAGE, I still run it, but y'all know how I am. I can be pissed off at a project and still run it. Silencio is probably one of the first projects in a while that I got so pissed off at that I won't run it. Silencio, the raffle ticket thing doesn't work. I don't want to repeat everything I said in all these videos. Wingbits, I'm waiting on Wingbits to go to mainnet. That's going to be about 4 to 5 weeks away. Look, I'm not in a rush to sell it, but y'all know I have over 1 million Wing tokens. There was a joke earlier about what the price is going to be and what Grumpy says the price is going to be. I'm letting y'all know I've never officially come out with a price prediction for Wingbits because I have a range. And I think it's going to be a range, but I know what I think the range is going to be. And just the once or twice on live that I've kind of hinted at what I think that range of that price is going to be for Wingbits, y'all weren't happy with that. So that's why I don't discuss it anymore. But I try to be realistic, and I try to be that, hey, even if it's lower than what y'all want, I'd rather aim low and it be higher. But chances are we've seen a lot of these projects come out recently, these DEPIN projects, and they've all come out lower than what we wanted. It's just what the nature of the beast we're dealing with. We know that they waited long enough. They waited so long to come out with this because they want to be right. And like they've said several times in Discord, you only get one chance to do TGE and mainnet correctly. And they want to make sure they have all the contracts set up, the exchanges set up. We've seen what happens, NATIX and SOARCHAIN and Silencio, what happens when you rush a mainnet. They're getting delisted off of stuff. They weren't ready, or they didn't have the money, the collateral, whatever it takes for these exchanges. We know Wingbits doesn't want to do that. I have people ask me, what am I going to do with Wingbits? Y'all know I don't lie to y'all. I have never sold tokens for any of these projects that we're in, DIMO or any of these other ones, but I have a lot of money invested. Even DIY devices, I have 14 of my own devices. Those devices cost money. Feed line for each one costs money. Antennas for each one's $50. Between an SDR and an SDR and an antenna, those are $50 each. So that's $100 right there times 14. That's $1,400. I will start taking some profit from Wingbits. Now, here I'm going to make the same mistake I made with Helium. I'm doing so much better with my Wingbits device, my WB200 from HiFix. I have both of those stations next to each other in Grand Isle. Luckily, Grand Isle, even though it's a small island, it's split in half with a hex. Was it hex 6 resolution? So at my buddy's friend's fishing camp that he let me put up on one side of the island, it is 10 feet up, 5 feet off the ground, 10 feet up, about 10 feet away from the Gulf. My DIY station is a little bit further down the island with a similar type setup. And my HiFix device gets way more hexes, way more data points, way more coverage, everything. So much that I'm contemplating now, because I'm starting to have state problems with my DIY stations. And knock on wood, I know some of y'all can't say the same thing, but knock on wood, I have not had any issues with my Wingbit stations, with my Wingbit WB200 station. I'm contemplating, especially on some of my host ones, just so I don't have to keep bothering them about rebooting and doing this and doing that. Ones that I think should be getting better coverage than what they're getting is swapping a DIY station out for WB200. Once I can start getting those tokens rolling into me. So yeah, am I going to sell? Yes. But I'm really going to be reinvesting it back into the project. That's my plan as of today, July 29th. My son will be going off to college then and everything else. Who knows what the hell I might need the tokens for? Or I might just sit the tokens in there. I keep asking them, are they going to plan on doing any kind of staking? Some people against staking. I'm all for staking. I'm going to have so many tokens, I'm going to want to stake some of them. But if they're not going to give testnet tokens other than every, throughout the 12 months spread out, I might not stake. Some projects we say, instead of kidnapping our tokens for 12 months, why don't you let us stake it, which is kind of the same thing or locked up. I don't know. I'm making this video way longer than what I wanted to be. I know that, but I just wanted to be able to explain. That's even though we go over the projects and what's going on, that's some things I'm thinking about with some of these projects. Real quick, and I'll tell y'all what I think about grass. The fact that they're going to Epoch 10, I think, is absurd. Reading on one of the Discords, there's a bunch of tokens for investors or owners or something that's supposed to be unlocked in October. That never comes out good. but it is what it is. That's just the nature of the beast. Every project's doing it now that needs investors. And if it wasn't for that, investors wouldn't invest. So it's a necessary evil, but you do have to be aware of that. That's about it. I could keep talking to y'all for a while. Maybe I need to do a separate video or something, but that's it. I hope this kind of covered my Monday, a day late, weekly video updates and stuff like that. Not that we really went over a lot of stuff. It's hard to do it with this setup, but I wanted to be able to at least touch base with y'all, put a video out there, keep the algorithm going. I am kind of keep up with the Discord while I'm sitting in some of these classes, because some of them just boring as hell. And, you know, chit-chatting back and forth with some of y'all, and you know, working with D Vasolino on a new hat, because, you know, we need to get some stuff, you know, cleaned up on them and stuff like that. Get some things changed around. I have been wearing that. I have been wearing a t-shirt. I've had several people ask me about it. I know for a fact I've had probably 3 or 4 new subscribers just walking around because they asked me about it. And I'm like, make sure it's The Grumpy Dad, not Grumpy Dad, because it's a completely different channel. But that one's not really even active anymore. But some other guy, you know, I can't believe there's more than one Grumpy Dad out there, but it's The Grumpy Dad. And I got to tell them that. And they sit there and subscribe right there in front of me. Some guys also subscribe to my hunting channel. So it's been a cool trip. I'm just getting old. Walking around this heat, I know y'all sick of hearing that, but I got to get back in the gym. That's one thing I can't wait to get released. I have to get back in the gym. So trying to schedule a fishing trip next week for me and my boy before he goes off to college. Hopefully get that done. And hopefully I get back on my feet, because I'm dying out here. But thank y'all for watching, keeping up with y'all. Thank y'all for the support as usual, and see y'all in the next video.